Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to From the Depths. Considering our very low supply of supplies, well, resources, we are not going to be doing much building in this particular episode. We're just going to be building or taking stuff apart. Beginning with this Clydesdale. Or, well, the Clydesdale that seems to already be quite literally belly up. Because this thing has capsized, which actually gives me an opportunity to capture it. I said I was done with capturing, but I might just make an exception for this guy. The reason being that if he is capsized... Oh, one of those, huh? I thought if he's capsized, he won't be able to shoot me, and I can just sail up to him. Try and make enough holes in the bottom to fry his AI out and then take it over. But considering he's still shooting me, I think that he's not having any of that. Ooh, that was fairly devastating. That was a 170,000 explosive hit. And I don't even do explosive damage with that railgun, it's just pure thumper damage. So I might have hit an ammunition supply. Or something else that really does not respond very well to getting hit. Too high. Oh, my power's really low. Okay, I did pick up the resources. I should probably invest in another couple of RTGs. Just to keep that railgun, which, as I was promised, is fairly hungry. Just to keep it fed. I'll take another 2. And yes, these things are very expensive, but I rely upon a lot of energy for this craft. So I don't particularly mind. It's cost of doing business, shall we say. Especially if you're in the business of blowing shit up with a railgun. Wow, they actually righted the ship, literally. Alright, let's slow down. We should be able to farm some of the resources here. That is, the game is saying that my collectors are underwater. As you might have been able to tell, by the way, I have not yet bothered to put any of my cameras back, considering that I'm using free camera almost all the time now. Yeah, those things... Ah, crap. This is deck space that I don't use. I know I said this was not going to be a building exercise, or a building vid, but here we are, regardless. You know how I work at this point. And if not, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. 2 more here. Right, you sir. Fuck me, that's bright. For some reason, he is not firing. Doesn't mean I'm not going to fire at him. Because I'm really not looking forward to getting hit by that broadside over there. Now, if I can keep making nice little holes in his stern there, I might be able to hit something critical. Something that has a tendency of blowing up. Ammo supplies, general storages, cram cannon explosives. Jeez, it's hard to see when you're zoomed in like that. This railgun takes 100,000 power every time I fire it. It's no surprise that it's really quickly draining the batteries. But hopefully, this thing is going to leave behind a good chunk. When it does, I'll be right there to collect it. Look at that, you can just see right through the ship. I'm gonna yeet a shell all the way in there. I can pretty much shoot a shell at the whatever bow or stern it is, and it should make it all the way through to the castle there. 38. I'm not sure why it's being so peaceful. Right through the sails. Not that that had any effect. There. That should make it a bit easier to see. There's the other mast. No, you're not. Just trying to turn and actually broadside at one of my ducks, doing 3% damage. Not too bad. So, let's take what's rightly justified salvage. How much? Another 10? 14. I'll take it. Gladly. Since you're not using it, I'll take it gladly. When I was doing my little submarine experiment, I had one of these PIDs set to the pitch, and for that it was using... where was it? No, I think it was the other one. I had set the hydrofoils at a different angle. Normally I use my hydrofoils at a 15-degree up angle on the bow to ensure that I get a bit of lift, which means that I don't have to work as hard on the propulsion. So I'm going to do that again. It's just that these things are not properly oriented. So they all get to leave. Right, so that was you, I think. Test. Yeah, we got the resources, by the way. Now we're just waiting for more stuff to get killed off. Okay, we got 30,000 supplies. Time to set up another railgun. Or, no, not another railgun. Another RTG. Another railgun. No, railguns probably not going to be in the near future. If at all, because they're so incredibly expensive. There. I should be capable of charging up a lot more power now. Now, who would like to go next? After a good long while of waiting, there is finally some life out there. And naturally we are here to extinguish it, because that is what you do in adventure mode. Now sending over to our starboard, sorry, port side, it's another Clydesdale. I'm not sure if this area is solely populated by Clydesdales, but they sure seem to have a lot of those guys around. So let's see if I can once again casually make a few holes in this thing. And thus make sure it doesn't make any holes in me. By the way, I've set these counter missiles, these decoy things up, these radar projectors, in a way that they aren't as demanding. Because what I found they did was they fired every 40 seconds. And sure enough, they're not expensive, but they do take up some resources. So I made sure that they only fire when there's an enemy within 2,500 meters. The AI currently knows that there's something out here. I can't quite tell you exactly what the range is supposed to be. Buoy not launched for the missile radar holder. Yeah, correct. Oh, wow. You can start to shoot back. Finally. I'm not sure why these things are so docile, but they really don't seem to be very interested in doing any kinds of damage. I am. So my other railgun's going off. My missiles are going off. Probably not even that much to get from this thing, resource-wise. Nevertheless, I want to make sure that it goes so that my duck can go over there and pick up some of the resources. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to hang around here in this resource deposit to ensure that I can mine some more stuff. Even though it's a fairly low zone, there is, I think, about 7,000 supplies in here. So it's really not that impressive. Unfortunately. Missed. Looks like those large missiles are probably going to hit, though. Large missiles and cluster missiles is something else I've been experimenting with. And oh, wow. And they have proven to be quite interesting, although I haven't really found a good use for them yet. Cluster missiles, for those uninitiated. They are missiles, move toward the target, and then drop off a whole other package of new missiles, depending entirely on what you want them to do. They can deposit torpedoes, they can deposit mines, they can deposit other missiles, which, in case you have something that, for example, flies, you can have a whole bunch of other missiles go after the target. So you send one, let's say, large missile, and it dumps out just before it strikes. And again, all of this is customizable. It is from the depths. It dumps out a whole bunch of other missiles, depending on what you want. But, as I mentioned, I haven't really found a good use for them yet. So if you have any good uses, let me know down below in the comment section. I will gladly learn. And maybe if I have enough resources, I'll put them on the ship. I think it's constantly the large missiles that are doing these Clydesdales in, because this is the third guy that I've sunk, or that, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, that I will sink at this point. And it doesn't seem to be carrying any missile defenses. There goes a 24, there's 78, there's 104, yeah, you're toast. 144, that thing's dead. Okay, Duck 1. I have a job for you. You're gonna head over there. Oh, sorry, over here. There's 381, but it's still being demolished. So there's probably another 14, 15k to get there. Yeah, 13 plus 381, so about 14k, that's fine. So let's get that stuff and, well, wait for something else to spawn. I know that you can... well, you can't quite force the AI to spawn anything. But you can motivate them, shall we say. And you do that by just moving around. Because the more you move around, the more stuff spawns. But it does not spawn quickly. Despite me being in a warp difficulty 40. Of course, that doesn't mean that it spawns particularly quick. It just means that the difficulty is greater. And with that, whatever does spawn is potentially more lethal. But right now, I am not terribly impressed / intimidated by the enemies. Because those Clydesdales too, they seem pretty docile. Now, you know what? Since I'm waiting for the, well, one of the ducks to come back and for this resource zone to get emptied, I might as well have some fun with one of these cluster missiles. I'm only going to build one, and I'm going to take manual control of it to ensure that the AI doesn't start launching this thing regardless of whether or not that is a good idea. So we're going to set this thing up. I'm not going to bring it all the way down through the deck because I don't think I'm going to need that much. So here comes the launch pad. And then we're going to add a connector. And then a controller. Right. So here's how they work. You have your variable thruster, you have your fin. I'm going to need one fuel tank. I'm going to need a cluster controller. This is the thing that controls all the settings about what you want to drop, or rather how far away you want to drop. Release after a flight time of how much do you want to stagger the drop, so much like you stagger your launch of missiles. What sort of missile size difference do you want? All of this stuff can be dictated. I want to have cluster missile extensions. Let's go with 4 of these and then an active radar seeker. This way the missile itself will not do any kind of damage, nor is it intended to do so. Currently it has a lifetime of 40 seconds, but a thrust of only 12.5. So I'm going to route the thrust down. Let's say it's going to be a bit faster than that. Yeah, let's say 140 meters per second. 20 seconds of thrust, so I can go up to about 2.8 kilometers, give or take. Now, if I exit out and go back in, I can now see this thing. It has 1 meter per module, which means I can launch missiles up to 4 meters long. I have 0.196 per module. Right. So I can now build a couple of medium missiles. The thing that I'm going to do is going to try and build a couple of medium torpedoes. Now, a 4-meter missile is on the low end for a torp, but sometimes you can more or less get away with it. Prediction guidance. Prediction guidance usually has a bit of room in it, I think. I'm thinking, can I make without a fuel tank? I can. 29 seconds. Okay. So this is the missile that's going to get launched, but in order to actually make sure it does get launched, you need a cluster ejector. This thing will tell the other missile, hey, you need to carry me. And I need 0.96, yeah. Now, I believe weapon slot 5, no, weapon slot 3 is empty. Yep. So I can set this thing up at weapon slot 3. I just have to ensure that it has a friendly fire add-on, because otherwise this is going to be a missile that comes right back at me. Now, at the controller, distance to target 400 meters. Set that to 500 meters to a target. I'm going to stagger the drop to 0.1, so they have a slight bit of distance between them. And then here, we're going to go with... Oh, hold on. Copy to all pads. Ejector settings. I want these to have a speed inheritance. This is not some sort of drug fest that your uncle left you. No, speed inheritance means how much of the speed of the missile that releases... Oh, this one. Cease fire. How much of the speed of the missile that releases this particular missile is going to get inherited. I don't want to inherit too much. So that's why I'm going to go with this. Now these deliver an explosive damage of 5,598. Now what are we tracking? Because we are definitely launching... Oh, an aerial target. That's not something I can take out with a missile launcher. Or at least not my usual missile launchers. Jesus, whatever that is, it's getting messed up. Thunderbird. That's a lot of materials you got there, sir. Shame if something happened to it. Oh, damn. What the hell is that? Is that a laser cannon that he's firing? Yeah, he's melting one of my ducks up. Is this resource zone empty? It is. Let's get a move on. Are those missiles hitting? No, they're going after decoys. I think. Yep, they're going after decoys. Now, I'm doing damage to it, but not particularly quickly. 97%. No! Turn away, or I will ram you. Oh. That is some bad news for my duck. And not just my duck, also for me, I think. Because it might inadvertently be hitting me. As almost a bonus. Now, let's see if my missile salvo can go off again. And maybe I can bring the railgun over. And land a hit. Yeah, that hit him. Wow, that thing is pretty. I'll give you that much. It does a lot of damage. But that is a pretty design. Wow. Look at it. Beautiful. Shame that we have to kill it, but it's gonna happen anyway. Missed. Come on. Hit. Not sure if I can snipe off particular parts that need to be sniped. It's definitely hurting. But it's still lasing me. still doing damage, and all that damage will need to get repaired. Going out of control. Cease fire. Cease fire. Oh, those were potentially incoming missiles that were getting shot at. Now, it's not dead yet. Ejecting. There's still 162,000 materials, and I could really use those to repair the ducts. Health below and sinking. Ah, crap, it's gonna disappear. Whoa! We have something else attacking me now. Could you kindly watch your fire, you dum-dum? Because you're actively blowing me up. 22,000. Not too bad. I think I might have lost more in the encounter. But so be it. Now, I'm not sure if these are required. But I think I am missing my failsafes on some of the... where are they? The Seawiz over here. Damn, my voice is giving out this vid. These appear to have a tendency to try and hit my own crafts. And I really don't like that. Check this construct. Yes. Check other own constructs. Yes. Confirm that I also have one on the other side now. Confirmed. Okay. So we got the resources. 46k. Now we can help with the repair of the dock. It's just that I cannot properly dock my ducks. Yeah, don't say that too often. I cannot properly park these for the simple reason that they will not be capable of being in the position they once were. Because those positions are now occupied by the floats. So it's not possible to dock them. But they should automatically get repaired over time. You know what, we're just going to stop for a second and see if I can repair this thing. Put a couple of those repair arms or repair things in the pontoons, in the floats. Misc. Compact repair tent. Because now I can repair my own ship with a multitude of bots that I have on here. But I'm struggling to repair other ships. Assisting ships, like the ducks.
Receiving.
So you, I need you over here.
Moving now. Receiving.
I need you also to come over here. Ah, duck 1's already been repaired. Never mind.
Moving now.
You can stay at a nice, decent range. Because as it happened, you got a bit too close. There's the other duck. How are you doing, buddy? Not great. You seem to have quite a few parts of your hull very exposed. Jesus, my bow is low in the water. Fix them up, please. 80%. There we go. Here you go, buddy. Hope you feel better soon. 87, 88.
Turning off.
Just stop altogether, will you? Because if you keep moving away, I can't help you. There you go. Now he's happy as well. I want you over there at a fair distance. I don't want to run into my own ships again. So, any other takers, or are we alone again? I think we're all by our lonesome. The resource zone over here, is that interesting to go to? 1,000. Well, basically 2,000 then. So the answer is no, not really that interesting. Now, once again, we have new threats to worry about. This might, however, be an interesting time to launch that new missile. The real question is, at what? Well, at that laser spewing, whatever the hell that is. I think that might be the piercer that the radar has detected. It's interesting, by the way, the... ow! The decoy missiles go off once they have detected a threat within 2,500 meters. And the But they're basically a warning system at this point. Going, hey, there's something out there. Anyway, let's launch this missile. This is the large missile. It's going to fly out to 2,800 meters, dropping off 4 smaller medium missiles. And once those are gone, or once those are dropped, they're going to turn into torpedoes. So this thing's almost out of fuel. Once it's out of fuel, I believe it also drops. Though I might still have to set that up properly. Come on. I know I'm taking some damage here, but I just want to see if this system works. No, you're too far away. You're too far away. Yeah, it detonated. Okay. It detonated before getting a chance to launch its little sublings. So I'm going to say, drop below an altitude of 10 meters. So if this thing manages to fall below that, it's going to make sure that it doesn't actually go down without any use. It's going to go down with the use of some missiles. Something is definitely trying to blow holes in me using a laser system. Anyway, let's see if this thing now works. Because I think these are very... well, they have a lot of potential, these weapons. Here, range 500. Nothing? Hold on a moment. Let me slow it all the way down. I need to do some maintenance on this missile, because apparently it doesn't quite work yet. Which is curious, because these are set up properly. Cluster ejector. Yes. Container volume required, 0.96. Yes. Cluster controller. Distance to target, 500 meters. Yes. They have the same container volume as needed. Drop 3 levels below. No. Drop 1 level below. This means that a large missile with set to 1 will only fire medium missiles. Is that how it's supposed to work? You see, I'm still figuring these things out. How bad's the damage we're taking? 1%. I can live with that. Oh, now my torpedoes are being launched manually. While amusing, that's not really what I have in mind. Also, I think it's time to activate all the weapons on board. Same for the docks. Because we might need to do a bit more damage than this. So now every weapon system that I have is going to go off. Against various different targets. Well, not all of them. If we're being strict. Because I still have my manual launch of 24 missiles. These boys. That's not something that I've trusted the AI with so far. They're all targeting the Clydesdale, metal slopes and everything. Oh, there's another Clydesdale out there potentially. This is going to do quite a bit of damage to your sails. And whether it's going to kill it, I don't think so. But it's a start. Continue on. Give me another... oh, there we go. AI is dead. Target neutralized. Next target, up ahead. What exactly are you? Don't tell me. Another? Geez, those things are popular. I'm not even sure why, but they are really beloved by the AI. No, you don't really need to fire another 2 large missiles at it. Because it's already dead. That was a waste of a couple of good missiles. Anyway, I still need to know why this missile launcher doesn't work the way that I want it to. Because, from what I understand, this is how it's supposed to work. You got your medium missiles. And these things are all set up with a cluster ejector. The cluster ejector needs to give them, yeah, 0.7. You got your controller, extensions. It's pretty much as it should be. Oh, hold on. If we go below 10 meters... Yeah. Right. What I think might have happened is that it's started and thought, hold on, I'm already below that. And that's why it decided not to actually launch the missiles with it, but to drop them off early. If that makes sense. Weapon 3. Ceasefire on all the guns and the docks. Weapon 3. Out. 3,500 meters. That's fairly distant. This thing should take those missiles quite a long way of the way, but probably not far enough. I have to set it up so that even if it doesn't make it all the way there, I still want it to drop off its missiles. Oh, it might actually do it. Yep, there we go. Missiles are now underwater. Let me pause the game real quick. So this is a faster way of delivering missiles to a particular target. Here they are. Sorry, that's the large missile. Here are the babies. The baby missiles. Torpedoes now going directly at the target and slamming onto the water. Doing fair amounts of damage to the hull. Not bad. But then again, I know that this is mostly a lighter, smaller hull. So it's not that well protected. So, with that system, I can launch quite a lot of missiles, I think. I'm not sure if there is a limit, so let's test that. Although, actually, no, I'm down to 8,255 materials. I cannot afford to do any experimenting. I need to be focused on repairing the ship. And it's not that there's a Kaleido coming in, but there's also the Piercer coming in. And this guy might need my full attention for now. So that is the thing over here. And I think that this is our laser boy. Oh yeah. If I'm not mistaken, that's the lens of a laser. And that's everything. No, it's a particle cannon. Isn't it? It's a particle cannon. What the hell are all these? See, particle cannons is one of the weapon systems that I really don't know much about. All I know is that it needs to go. And I can make that happen. Give me the railgun. Give me all the missiles. Oh, they've decided that something else is a bigger threat. Everybody engage. That Piercer has inflicted some serious damage and cannot be allowed to persist. There you go. Assume its target is still threatening. You are getting demolished, buddy. There you go. Target 2 damaged, low health. Excellent. Missed. I'm down to 6,000 materials. I could really use whatever he's dropping off. And there's more stuff behind me. One of my ducks. You, go and grab that and bring that back. It's 18,000 supplies.
You're in control.
Control mode. Go. This thing is refusing to sink, as of yet. Missile 3 should be capable of dropping off those torpedoes now. Oh, you're low health. Oh, but there's another Clydesdale on the horizon. Alright. Yep, you're done for. Did you leave anything interesting behind? 17k. Not gonna complain. Pretty decent haul. Turn off the weapon systems on the docks though, because we're also feeding the docks with weapons or materials for the weapons that they fire, which is not great. Oh, I still love the railgun. Such a nice gun. Why am I over here? This railing is... It's doing exactly railing things, in the sense that it's preventing me from being able to go back down. Here, sit. What I was going to try and do is adjust this missile once and for all, so that when it drops... Or rather, I could slow the missile down. Thrust duration... 35 seconds. There. Once more. Weapon away. Distance about 4,000 meters. It's also being attacked by 2 large missiles by the looks of it. We picked up the stuff, we're back at 17,000 materials. At least these are putting up more of a fight. They are definitely far more capable of doing damage to the Glorious. Alright, we're back to 35k. This the guy could yield me another 50. Or sorry, 15. Not 50. Spew out your torpedoes. There we go. Now, in case of a target like this, it doesn't really matter that much. Because sure, they're nice weapons, but they're more of a... Oh, those are the large missiles. They're more of a very elaborate way of getting stuff delivered, or getting ordnance delivered to your target. The other thing that I could do with that missile is make it a rocket-assisted torpedo, in which case you go for a short-range thruster, which just launches it straight up, changes it towards the target, and then spews even more thrust. So thrust before locking is going to be really low. And then once it hits the water, or once the smaller thruster runs out, then you fire and... once you hit the water... I'm sorry, it's really late. Once you hit the water, that thing is going to turn into a torpedo. Oh, you're toast. Alright, good. You're a duck, yes? Before I accidentally blow you up. Yeah, that was one of the ducks that was picking up materials. Alright. So another one bites the dust. And this guy yields 12. Not terrible. We're back at 50,000. And that's a nice moment to stop the episode. If you guys have any good ideas on what exactly to do with a cluster missile, I'm all ears. Let me know down below in the comment section. It might take me a few episodes to catch up with the comment section, if you will. Because I record these episodes pretty far ahead. So what you see in this episode was probably recorded 4 or 5 days ago. Which means that by the time that your comment reaches me, I'll probably have already uploaded and recorded quite a few more episodes. Anyway, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon for another episode.